In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a peacock feather. Now, I used Irish crochet techniques, but the design is basically my own. It's my own design. There's lots of great peacock feather designs out there, but they didn't quite work for my particular needs in the kind of art that I do and kind of my style. So I designed my own feather and I thought I'd share it with you. I thought you might enjoy that. So this particular feather right here is made using a cotton crochet thread. This is a size 10. And you can see that this cotton crochet thread works beautifully for this particular design. I used a variegated thread here, but I've also got the classic white. For those of you who want a more classic, elegant look with regards to your feather, especially if you're doing particular kind of lace work. Next, I've got this recycled silk yarn. It's 1 ply, it's lace weight, but I don't know if you can see how like the thread itself is not very uniformed. It's a very organic kind of hand spun feel to the piece. So when I show you the feather, you're going to kind of see the chunks and the bumps and the non-uniformity of the thread itself, which creates its own particular kind of look. But this is how this feather turned out. Same exact pattern, just a different type of yarn. Now next, I've used an acrylic lace weight yarn. It's a super fine yarn. It's sparkly, so it has kind of this metallic thread running through it. And this is how this turned out. So I thought this was another thread that worked very, very well with this particular mostly lace intended piece. And then finally, I made this piece using your standard, easy to find acrylic worsted weight yarn. I used a size G hook. And you can see that it turned out quite large, but just as well formed as any of the other feathers that I did. So this is a great piece if you're talking in terms of you want a more realistic or lacy looking peacock feather on your afghan, or maybe as a patch. This is really actually a fun motif, and it worked out very well in the large worsted size yarn. Welcome to Weaving Weird Studio, my creative weird life. My name is Sig, and what a pleasure it is to have you with me at this time today. It's your interest and support that allows me to contribute new content and weekly videos. Help us all grow together by tapping the subscribe bar, notification bell, and like buttons. I look forward to your comments and always value your feedback. Now let's get started. For this tutorial today, I'm going to use this size 4 worsted weight standard acrylic yarn. Normally I would make one of these motifs with a fine lace yarn or a crochet thread. However, for the sake of this video, I'm going to use this acrylic medium-sized standard yarn along with a G-sized hook, 4mm for those who do not follow US standards. And begin by chaining 9. 2, 3, 4, and 9. And then I'm going to join to make a ring. I'm going to chain 1. And then within the ring, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet 3. 1, 2, and 3. Next, I'm going to half double crochet 3 in that ring. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to double crochet 3. 1, 2, and 3. Next, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to double crochet 3 again. So 1, 2, and 3. And as before, I'm going to half double crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to single crochet 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now for this part of the tutorial, or this part of the feather, we're going to work basically in a spiral. So the next thing I'm going to do is, in the front loop only, I am going to make a single crochet. So I have 21 stitches on my ring, and that's for the completion of round 1. And then for round 2, I'm going to single crochet in each of the front loops only, leaving me with 21 single crochets once I've finished round 2. So once you've completed that, I'm going to move on to round 3. And for round 3, I'm going to work in the back loops only from round 1. So basically, we're going to be working in these loops right here, the back loops from round 1. I'm going to single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to half double crochet in the next stitch. I'm going to do this 2 more times. I'm going to chain 1, half double crochet, and then chain 1, half double crochet, and chain 1. Next, I'm going to double crochet plus a chain 6 times. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Next, I'm going to half double crochet plus a chain 1 3 times. So that'll be 1, 2, and then 3. And then I'm going to single crochet my last 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So far we've got something that looks like this. And then again, for round 4, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet in the front loop of each of the next stitches. So that'll leave me with a total of 34 single crochets once I finish round 4. I'm going to begin here. 1, 2, 31, 32, 33, and 34. So round 5, we're going to work in the back loops of round 3. So we just completed round 4, but we're going to work in the back loops of round 3 right here. And for round 5, we're going to begin by single crocheting 7. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I'm going to half double crochet 7. Still working in those back loops. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Next, I'm going to double crochet 6. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Next, I'm going to half double crochet 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then in the last 7 stitches, single crochet. So 1, 2, and then as before, we're going to go ahead and in the front loops of round 5, we're going to go ahead and do a single crochet, giving us once again 34 single crochets at the end of the round 6. So we get 1, 2, 3. So the completion of round 6, your piece should look something similar to this. Now we're going to move on to round 7. And in round 7, again, we're going to work in the back loops of round 5. So these back loops right here. I'm going to begin by making 10 single crochets. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next thing I'm going to do is half double crochet plus a chain 1 3 times. So we're going to have the 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do that with the double crochet. So I'm going to have the double crochet plus a chain 1 3 times. So it's going to be a 1, 2, and 3. Then next I'm going to have a treble crochet plus a chain 1 3 times. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do the double crochet plus chain 1 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Next, we're going to do a half double crochet plus 1 chain 2 times. I'm going to have 1, 2, and then a half double crochet in the next stitch. And then my last 10 stitches, I'm going to place a single crochet. So now that we're moving on to round 8, we're going to move into basically doing your basic single crochet. So I'm going to do that 11 times. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, and 11. Then I'm going to make a 3 chain picot. Now for those of you who don't know how to make a picot, I'll run you through it here pretty quickly. So you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, thus the 3 chain picot. And then you're going to take your hook and you're going to insert it into these front 2 bars right there. And you're going to yarn over and pull your yarn through, basically in a slip stitch. And then that'll be your first picot. And then next I want to single crochet 5. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So basically we're hitting each one of those stitches. And then I'm going to do another 3 chain picot. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to single crochet 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then again, I'm going to do another 3 chain picot. 1, 2, 3. And this time I'm going to single crochet 4. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now for the picot on the top, I want to do a 4 chain picot. So for those of you who are just learning how to do picots, that's going to be chain 4. And then just like you would normally do any other picot. And then I'm going to single crochet 4 again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to do a 3 chain picot. And then I'm going to single crochet 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to do another 3 chain picot. And then I'm going to single crochet 5 again. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to do one more 3 chain picot. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet 11 once again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 11. So your piece should look like this, or something close to this. Yeah. And I'm going to keep going for a few more stitches to complete the last of working in the round, and then we're going to start working in rows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet 8 more. Except these next 8 single crochets I'm going to work in the back loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so as you can see, we finished up our round right here, and then we started working our next 8 stitches in the back loop only. Then I'm going to chain 3. Then we're going to turn our work and start working our first row. And in the second loop from the hook, I'm going to single crochet once. And then I'm going to single crochet 10 more times. 10 and 11 brings us the total. So the count of 11 is basically that first stitch plus the 10 additional single crochets. So that gives us a total of 11 single crochets. And this is all back loop only. So here until we get to making the actual shaft of the feather, we are going to be working in back loop only. So next, after I've completed my 11 single crochets, I'm going to chain 3. And then in the very next stitch, I'm going to begin with a new single crochet, and I'm going to single crochet an additional 7 single crochets, all back loop only. So that's a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 will be my total of single crochets. So just a quick recap. So this is 11 single crochets, chain 3, and then a total of 8 single crochets after that, and then chain 3. And then we're going to turn, and we're basically going to repeat that again. So we're going to work 11 single crochets, chain 3, and then we're going to work, let me back that up a second. I'm going to work the 11 single crochets, and then we're going to skip a chain, and then we're going to continue to single crochet 8 single crochets. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I'm going to chain 3. We're going to skip a chain, and then we're going to single crochet 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to chain 3, and we're going to turn, and we're going to repeat that same thing again. So we're going to single crochet 11, chain 3, skip a chain, and then single crochet 8, and then chain 3. So that'll basically be 1 row, and we want to have 6, basically 6 of these points, or basically it would work out to kind of like rows. So we've completed 1 full row, and now we want to do 5 more of these rows, parts of the feathers. And then when we get down to completing our 6 rows, basically like what you see here. So this would be basically 1 row, or 1 completion, and then 2 and 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So we're going to have 6 completed, and then when I've finished my 6, I'm going to meet you back here, and we're going to get the rest of this finished up. Now, so far, your piece should look similar to this. Depending on what kind of yarn you're using or thread, it might be slightly different looking just due to the texture of your yarn. But you're basically looking at something like this. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we basically have 6 fingers of feathers. I guess I'm not really sure what those little thin, wispy parts of the feather is actually called here on the peacock feather. But now that we have our 6 ends, I'm going to go and we're going to go ahead and we're going to single crochet 11, 1, 2, and 11, chain 3, skip a chain, and then in this next section we're going to go ahead and we're going to single crochet 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work, And now I'm going to single crochet 9. So 1, 2, 8, and 9. I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to skip a chain. And then I'm going to single crochet 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to chain 3, turn my work, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chain 9, single crochet 9. So I have 1 and then 2, 8, and 9. And chain 3. And then next I'm going to single crochet 4. After I'm going to skip that next chain, and then I'm going to single crochet 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to turn my work. And then I'm going to single crochet 7. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to skip a chain, and then I'm going to single crochet 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work. And I'm going to single crochet 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And go ahead and I'm going to single crochet once right there into that chain 3 loop. And then I'm going to single chain 17. So 1, 2, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And then I'm going to single crochet. I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to single crochet back up. So we're going to skip this first chain and insert the hook into the second chain from the loop and begin with our first single crochet. And then I'm going to single crochet 16 more. That'll give me a total of 17. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 14, 15, 16, and then your 17th is going to go right in here into the center of this single crochet that you made into that 3 chain loop. So far you should have something that looks like this. And then next we're going to start our single crochet right up the center of the feather. So I'm going to come and I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to bring it behind towards the back of my feather. And then I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it through the first front loop that I'm next to. And I'm going to pull that yarn through and I'm going to make my chain. And then in the next loop, I'm going to go ahead and pull that yarn through and make my chain. So I'm basically going to be pulling my yarn through from the back towards the front to make my chain, and 1 chain for each loop. Okay, so far you should have something that looks like this, with your chains coming up right up the center of the shaft of your feather. And then once we get here towards the top, or what would normally be like the eye part of the peacock feather, about each row, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert my hook just into a section between the rows. So I'm going to do that once for each row. going to continue that all the way up. And then once I get here to row 1, I'm going to cut my yarn. I'm going to pull it through, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to weave my end in. And then of course now you have your finished feather. And you can see the difference obviously between the crochet thread and then your standard worsted weight acrylic yarn. They both have great applications, and again, this particular design lends itself just as well to lace thread as it does to your standard yarn size. And if you really enjoyed this video, I wholeheartedly encourage you to check out my other tutorials with regards to motifs and just my other crochet projects. You never know. But now is the time for me to say goodbye. So until I see all you wonderful and creative fiber artists again, stay crafty, stay amazing, and above all, keep weaving your weird. Bye-bye now. Have a fantastic day.